Welcome to the Spark Report. John W. Davis and Pavi. You're watching us on HNB Media. And then also, shout out to Winsider. That's where you can listen to this podcast as well. What's going on, Pav? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. It's the day after my birthday, so I'm good. I'm here. But yeah, I'm chilling.
Welcome to the next decade.
Thank you.
It's nice to have another member.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's nice to have another member. But hey, man, we got some people on the other side of the decade on the Sparks as well. And I don't know if that's working out for them so well right now. Sparks are 0-2. Luckily, the Sparks have only played 2 games so far this season in comparison to some other teams who played 3 or 4. And so they still got time to right these wrongs in the standings. But, I mean, realistically, there's only 30 games left.
It's getting late quick. That's the thing about the W. The fact you only play, 32 games?
32 games this season,
yeah,
yep.
34 in a normal year, 32 in this year. It gets late quick. Like, you don't really have time to go on, 5-game losing streaks and things like that. You want a 5-game losing streak, you might that might be it. So I mean, this team is in danger of if they don't figure it out quickly, and they have a lot to figure out. If they don't figure it out quickly, man, it could get bad really quickly. And they don't have a pick next year, right?
Dallas has it. That's Jasmine Walker. Jasmine Walker is your 2022 pick.
So man, it could get bad really, really quick.
So Jasmine Walker might be a lottery pick next year.
Hey man.
Just like Janae was the pick last season.
It can get bad really quick.
And she didn't even play last season.
Yes. It can get bad really quick.
It can. So the first game you lose by 23. And you're like, okay. The next game you lose by 28. And you're like, oh, man. And then you look at the schedule and you're like, you got that first time where you do the double road trip where you have to stay in the city extra long to play the Sky twice.
Luckily,
Candace Parker will probably want to play in one of those games.
I was going to say luckily it's Chicago, but it's not even luckily because, it's summertime Chicago. So, you might – because are the rules relaxed now for the W? Do you know?
Not really.
They still got stay strictly in the hotel. They can't mingle.
I'm not sure how much they can mingle.
Okay, I'm about to say. I mean, you can go to dinner. a lot of places to eat. But yeah, they have to play the Sky, which
I don't think getting caught up in the nightlife of Chicago will be their problem. It will be playing the Chicago Sky that will be their problem.
I'm saying
the nightlife is not going to hurt. That might actually make them better. Because that might actually bring them together more.
Fair, but yeah, I was gonna say the Sky in general have looked like a great basketball team. Granted, I can't say I've sat there and watched every game that they played, but the times I have caught them, they play up tempo. They're playing together. I thought they might have an issue, trying to share the ball, but they didn't. I mean, the first game Candace played, it looked great. She get it off the glass, passing it up court. I think it probably actually. It lessened the load on Vandersloot. Most teams that are really good actually don't have somebody averaging 10 assists. Somebody's averaging 10 assists, that probably means you don't have either many other good players around you and they need to create everything for everybody else, or you don't have other playmakers. So it lessens the load on her to have somebody like Kansas, which is one thing that I didn't think about beforehand. So yeah, they had a work cut out for them, man. That will not be an easy back-to-back.
It won't be. And the Sky have the kryptonite of the Sparks. Right now, the kryptonite of the Sparks is length. And that's all this guy have. Other than Vandersloot, everybody else who is playing major minutes in their rotation is either the proper size or oversized for their position. When you're starting Copper and DeShields as your 2 and 3, those are big 2 and 3 players. They're both 6'1". I mean, they may argue over who is taller and everything like that, but they essentially are carbon copies of each other body-wise. You're running the wing with a 1 and 2. And literally, that's their number. 1 and 2. You it's like player 1, player 2. It's who you want to pass the ball to. It don't even matter.
Literally. And they're quick too, which seems to be another issue. But
Right.
getting back seems to be another issue that the Sparks have a lot of issues right now, man. Like,
Obviously, DeShields is like the premium athlete,
yeah.
but Copper is not far
Copper is
behind.
nice. Like, no, Copper, like the things that I've been seeing from her this season,
Right.
and most of it, like most of her highlights I see are in transition, which is bad for the Sparks. Because the Sparks, like, they just have so many offensively. I don't think that they know what they want to do.
I think they know what they want to do. I think that it's a lot to ask people to constantly play up tempo, because I was talking to somebody who is his past life, he's been a practice player with a different organization in W. And he was saying that, like, you know, because how I'm constantly talking about, oh, let's play like open run, let's play like open run. But then he was schooling me and he was saying that, you know, that creates the possibility for a lot of turnovers. That's why you run plays and that's why you run sets. So if you're asking them to play this fast tempo style of play, but they're still not comfortable with each other in long
But
spurts.
even when they're in the half court, I feel like, especially in their starting lineup, one thing I didn't realize that I'm starting to see now, I feel like they have no playmaking. I don't think they have anybody else who can make something happen for somebody else when that thing isn't already there.
Chrissy Tolliver, but there's only so many minutes Chrissy Tolliver's going to play.
Yeah, but also I haven't seen, granted, obviously it's game 2. She didn't play in a full year, and she's, 33, 34 years old now, so she's
I saw
older.
some spurts of it, but it's a lot to ask.
To do everything? Like, you want her to do outside of her, who else?
I'm going to be honest. In that starting lineup, everybody but NECA needs to step up. And even NECA, I talked to her after the game. Yeah, I talked to her after the game and I said, do you feel like you can do more offensively? And we both know NECA. We both know how philosophical she is and how deep she can get. And she was saying that, yes, I can, but it's not necessarily more shots. It's about being dynamic.
I agree.
When I have the ball.
I agree.
So that's what she's going to work on. But you could say the same thing for Wheeler. You could say the same thing for Tolliver. You could say the same thing for Sykes, and you could say the same thing for Chanae. Every single starter on that team can be more dynamic when they get the ball.
I agree.
Like, they have to be able to sustain a 40-minute game. Now, luckily for them, this is a 40-minute game as opposed to a 48-minute game. Can you imagine if this was a 48-minute game?
Oh my God!
What in the world would they do?
What
in the world would they do?
First of all, some
with the showing of these first 2 games.
First of all, some of these scores would be outlandish if it was a 48-minute game. Like, some of these scores would be 120 to 80.
They'd be like NBA.
Yeah, it'd be like 120 to 80 if it was a 48-minute game. So luckily for them, yes, it is 40 minutes.
Because don't tell Raquana Williams that, oh, you can get even more shots. Cool. Don't tell Kelsey Plum you can get even more shots. Cool.
Asia Wilson.
Cool. Liz Cambage, she loves shooting.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So I would say that, but I say all that about the starters being dynamic, but then I feel like the starters plus Nia Coffey are the only ones who show me that they kind of know what's supposed to be done.
I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. Like to me, they look like a team, especially with having a week of practice. You know, you would think that they would come out and look a little bit more knowledgeable, but it's like, I see, like, to me, they be playing like 2 different styles. Like, they'll run floppy actions and then they'll run pick and rolls. But it's like, what are you, like, are you trying to do motion? Or are you trying to do pick and roll? Y'all said y'all trying to do pick and roll apparently, but I don't see too much pick and roll, or like they don't run it enough. Like,
well, the only person you want to pick and roll with is NECA.
You can't. No, you can do it with Chanae. Just roll to the rim.
Yeah, but you want her shooting. And the first game, she shot 3 threes. The next game, she didn't shoot any. So, like, you need to be able to have the versatility in that. It can't always be roll.
Yes.
Like, it's got to be pop.
I mean, again, this is why also I thought Zowie B was critical, and one of the reasons why
she is critical, and she wants to play, and so I expect her to be playing this next series. Like, she's got to play.
Which is one of the reasons why I said she should start, just for spacing on the court, knowing that they want to run a lot of pick and roll for the reason that you just said, because you can't roll every time. But also, yeah, you have Jasmine Walker, who basically plays the four. She can pop. Like, you have people that you could pop with, but also, like, again, this is why I think that offensively, defensively, I think is more the issue even in offense. But offensively, I think that they run like two different to me, they run two different styles at the same time. It's like pick one and stick with it.
Defense is what is going to carry this team. It's not going to be offense.
I thought that they would be a much better perimeter defensive team immediately, and they haven't been. I thought
but they were against Dallas. They forced 26 turnovers, 20 in the first half. Like, that's crazy.
Did they force a lot of turnovers, or did Dallas just get really sloppy with the ball?
They were the defenders. Like, I don't think all of those turnovers were Dallas just dribbling the ball off their thumb.
I can't argue with that.
Dribbling the ball off their knee. Like,
I can't argue.
That was defense. Now, did it sustain? No. But in that first quarter, that's how it's supposed to look. So how do you get your first quarters to become your second quarters, and then become your third quarters, and then become your fourth quarters? I don't know how you do that when in the second quarter, you can't have the same 5 from the first quarter.
I think stamina might be one issue as well, because, again, like, they just don't seem to get back. Like, if you play fast, it seems like the Sparks are not going to get back with you. They have two issues, I think: transition, and then also, obviously, like we talked about, interior defense. But transition is also a huge issue, I think, that they have as well.
They're only playing with 10 players right now because Zalgiris hasn't played.
So stamina might be an issue. I don't know how you improve stamina, but, like, stamina might be an issue.
By playing games.
Okay. But they playing games so sporadically at this point in time that it's like, like, you play one Friday, play the next Friday. Then when is the Sky game?
I think it's Friday and Sunday.
Yeah, but, like, you taking another week off, practice, like we always say, is no way to simulate a game in practice, especially the speed of another team in practice. So, like, stamina might be an issue.
It is. I also think just the overall wear and tear is an issue. Everybody but Nneka and Janae, if I'm not mistaken, has been playing year-round. They either came from college or they either came from overseas.
Yeah.
And I know that they have the ability to play both seasons and they make it work. But over time, that's hard. And yes, they can tell, I just play basketball. I'm fine. Not all the time.
Yeah.
Like, that adds up. That is going to add up because, like, you can't play premier top level basketball 11 months out the year after year.
Yeah.
Like, I know you have to do it for your check, but.
And it's also not like these players are young. Like, a lot of them aren't young.
Mm-mm.
They're 28, 29, 30. I can't believe I'm saying 28, 29, 30 years old. Lord Jesus. But anyway, they're 28, 29.
It's not old, but it's a lot of
mileage
from basketball.
To do
like,
that,
they run up and down a lot of courts.
To do that,
they run up and down a lot of courts.
To do that year after year after year, obviously you suffer some type of injuries because people just do. And like you said, they're playing 11 months around it, like a year. How much time are you really getting to heal?
Mm-hmm.
So and also, again, like we have players on the team that didn't play basketball for a whole calendar year. I don't know what that does to you, but I'm sure it takes you a lot to get back into the rhythm of the game, the flow of the game. People, like, even mentally, you might have scouted, but this person might look totally different from 2019.
Yeah, because some of these players are getting better. Yeah, some of these players are getting better every year.
The league just looks different. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like they have a lot of issues right now. It can go really bad really quickly. I hope they fix it, but it can go really bad really quickly.
This is my thing. They've had 2 games. They played. You said that they're not necessarily a young team.
Mm-hmm.
So the majority of these players have played in the league 4+ years.
Yeah.
And they've played. Like, they've been rotational pieces. Like, this is not like, it's not like Holmes and Coffey never played.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got 2 young players. Then everybody else pretty much knows what they're doing. And honestly, the young players, the rookies, don't look that bad. So this is a point where you look yourself in the mirror and you say that when I'm out there, I have to play to exhaustion. And then when I'm tired, the next person comes in and they do that. Because other than that, this is not going to be fun. As much as they may like each other and as much as, it's a sisterhood and everything like that. I mean, you literally have sisters on the team. It's not going to be fun. If you're losing by 20 something game after game.
Definitely not a fun locker room.
And the way you lose by 20 something is because you literally get run out the gym.
Yeah.
It's not because of half court execution.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not getting dominated in the half court time after time after time, and then you look up and you're down by 30. This is not high school.
Yeah.
This is professional basketball, where the only way you lose by 20 something is fast break.
Yeah.
Like, they literally demoralize you getting up and down the court if you're going to lose by 20 something.
Yeah.
Because it's only 12 teams. The talent level is not
that
much different.
Yeah. It's not that much different. Everybody in this, like we said many times, Miss Basketball, All-American. It's not talent level ain't that much. It's no real difference.
So I don't know.
So question.
Okay, go ahead.
Question. What do you think has to change? Well, you may have just gave the answer. What do you think has to change from now? This is Sunday, May 23rd, until the day that they play the Chicago Sky. What needs to change in this week or so to make sure that they have a successful outing against Chicago? And at least if they don't win, which we they need to win, but at least if they don't win, just look better. What needs to change?
One, Zowie B has to play. She doesn't have to start, but she has to play because she's a willing shooter. And then two, I think it's almost time to tighten up the rotation. There are some people who have played and not been effective. That may even be somebody in the starting lineup. It hasn't really been effective. So I'm not saying that they don't get to play. If you're a starter, obviously, like, you've earned the right to start. But like, if it's not working out, like, we got to put somebody else in who's going to do it. But the problem is the replacements aren't changing the pace or the game either, because they're not doing what can change the game. Like, you don't have any game changers off the bench yet, other than Nia Coffey. But like, she's one person. She's literally one person. Like, it may come a point Nia Coffey may be starting again.
This don't really sound very promising, John. It sound very promising for them. You talk about starters don't need to play and they ain't got no game changers out of it. This don't sound really promising.
What am I supposed to say?
I don't know, but this don't sound really promising.
What am I supposed to say? Like, to win a game in the W this year, you need to score about at least 80 points.
80 points. You're going to have to score 80.
And honestly,
you're not seeing those 71 to 65 games. It's not happening.
You have to score. So you either got to stop the other team or you got to outscore them. And it's going to be tough to outscore them the way that they're doing things right now. Like, they're still tentative. Like, I would feel better if I'm going to lose by almost 30. I'd go down shooting. Like, there are opportunities in every game where sometimes players are just a little bit too selfless. Be selfish. Pull it. Like, they have to pull it because, I don't know. Like, I saw.
What do you think that is? Or like, do you think that's the offense that they're running, or do you think that's just a product of them not knowing each other yet?
I think that's a product of trying to make what you may consider the right play. But sometimes the right play is just to shoot the ball.
It's also why
because you are slightly open.
This is also why I said simplify things. Like, again, like I said, when I sat there and watched them in person against Dallas, it looked like they were running floppy actions and motion, but pick and roll at the same time. Bro, just run pick and rolls. Pick and roll. Come up the court, get a screen, drive to the rim, kick it out. If you can get a layup, take a layup. Just simplify it.
But they want to be an offense that moves the ball around.
But
I think that is clear by the way that this roster is constructed, and then the drills we see them do in practice.
But you can move the ball around. But you can move the ball around and pick and roll, drive to the rim, make somebody collapse. If they collapse on you, kick it out. If they don't, lay it up.
Is it really that simple though? If it was that simple, wouldn't they have already done that?
I see them do moments of it, but again, I think they're running like different offenses at the same time.
Okay.
Like again, over the all season, I kept hearing about pick and roll, and they want to penetrate, get in the paint, and shoot threes. But then, like
Yeah, but who are we hearing that from?
Coach.
Okay. I thought I was going to say I was hearing that from players.
I heard it from Coach too.
Okay.
He said he wanted to share the ball, but also they wanted to like penetrate. He said we want players that can get downhill. That is one thing that he stressed.
But that doesn't necessarily mean via pick and roll get downhill.
You are correct. I can't argue with that.
That just means somebody who's going to push the ball and go hard and try to turn the corner. No, not consistently.
So what? Like I just haven't seen any of the things, like you said, consistently that we've been told about in the offseason. Now, granted, obviously, it is game 2. It is game 2. Again, you have people who have not played basketball in literally 2 years.
I talked to Coach about, is it time to start considering shortening the rotation? Because you do see glimpses from the starters that they know what they're doing, but then when the whole lineup changes or it's 3 or 4 non-starters on the court, it doesn't have the same synergy. My opinion, and I've seen this with the Sun, and I've seen the Mystics do this, I've seen the Mercury do this to be successful, especially the Sun. The Sun play about 7.5 players.
Mm-hmm.
If they can figure out and get 8 people online with what they're trying to do, they should start winning basketball games. You don't need all 11 to know exactly what you want them to do.
I agree.
Because all 11 don't need to play at the same time. I mean, you can literally only play 5 people on the court at the same time.
Yeah.
You need that for depth, but realistically, in the game, how many people you really need to play in a 40-minute game?
8, like you said, 8.
You need 1 guard off the bench, 1 post off the bench, 1 wing off the bench. That's it.
In your opinion, I mean, you know, who should those people be? If it was you and we, put you on the sidelines, who would those people be? In your opinion?
My only guard option off the bench, because I'm going to need somebody to ball handle now because you traded away Sydney Weiss, so I don't have her. It has to be Taya Cooper. It has to be her because you literally need somebody who is going to relieve ball handling duties from Erica Wheeler and Christy Tolliver and even Brittany Sykes on the occasion. And then my wing player, it has to be Nia Coffey because Nia Coffey is the only one off the bench who has been consistent with total energy and effort and effectiveness. And then my post,
Amanda.
I want to say Jasmine Walker because, Big 40 is the shooter, but I need size. I need Amanda Zowie B, hands up, hands out, all of that stuff. So it's got to be Zowie B. Like, that's got to be my 8. And then if you want to slide Walker in there and slide Arella in there, cool. It would be great if you had Maria Vadiva right now.
It would be incredible if you had Maria.
But you don't. Because Maria has size and strength and versatility to play inside and out. And she's not shy about shooting the ball. Like, they can't be shy about shooting the ball anymore. Like, everybody's on the team. Nobody is getting cut right now. Like, you got to open shot, shoot it. You literally have to shoot.
One thing, switching the subject a little bit, and then after this, we can start to wrap. But the WNBA this year, how do you feel about it? Me personally, I will say I've enjoyed the games. I think there's been some great storylines. There's been some great moments. I'm loving the fact that, when I even scroll down my Twitter timeline, I always know what is going on. Mm-hmm. Like, even if I didn't know there was a game, I know just by the things I see. What do you think about the league so far this year? Like, how do you think the league has done as far as marketing itself and just the overall play around the league?
I think the marketing is focusing on merchandising, which I think is great because merchandising is walking advertising.
Facts.
That's literally what you're doing right now. You're literally advertising HNB on your shirt. It's
Facts.
subtle, but anybody who watches this will see it the whole time.
Yeah.
And so anytime you can do that with the W, I mean, they even have a shirt that has a QR code now.
That's fire. I didn't know that. That's fire.
Like, come on. I
fire.
talked to my mother about that. I say, Mom, this organizations that you're in, y'all need a QR code so people can scan that and know who you are.
I didn't even know that I didn't know you could even do that. I need to look into that. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, you know how you do the menus at the restaurants
Yeah,
with
yeah.
QR code?
Yeah.
Same thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you literally just scan it with your phone and then it pops up with a link to whatever you want to promote. So I mean, that might be something that
I'm definitely finna walk around with QR codes. Here you go.
Yeah, that's probably something that you and TBJ need to do.
Definitely.
But so I love that. I love the structure of the elite leaning teams. I love the idea that Connecticut was able to, instead of having Alyssa Thomas this year, now they got Jonquel Jones and the team's still rolling. Like, I love that Connecticut is a factor, as they should be. I love that the Sky seem to be a team together. They all are rallying around Candace Parker, yet certain players have the opportunity to play even better than before. Ruthie Hebert and Kalia Copper and Diamond DeShields. I even love the idea that Allie Quigley is willing to let those younger players get out there and shine.
I also love that Diamond's healthy this year too.
Yeah, but she knows it's for the greater overall for the team. And if it comes down to it, the end of the game, 3 minutes left, she could still be on the court with them. That all 5 of them could be on the court. They could easily run Vandersloot, Quigley, Copper, DeShields, and Parker and just figure it out.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell me that Diamond is not big enough to guard for a possession or two.
I mean, they're gonna be so up and down the court that I'm really worried about
Right. I mean, the game may not even be close.
Yeah.
By the last 3 minutes. So I love that. I love the idea that certain teams are just going to lean into what they have. Seattle, we have Breanna Stewart. We have Jewel Lloyd. They're going to get their 20-something almost every game. And that's going to be exciting. I love the idea that there is star power on pretty much every single team in this league.
Yeah.
And so going forward, I think that's good. I also am looking forward to, if they do have the Olympics, I think there will be a major bump.
I agree.
Because I think that they will go over there. They will show their dominance.
Come back.
In 5-on-5. They will show how cool 3-on-3 is. I can't guarantee a gold in that, but they will come back with such momentum off of that. Like, people will be jonesing for basketball.
Yeah.
And there won't be NBA then.
NBA will be gone.
It'll only be WNBA.
Yeah.
And they don't even have to compete with Summer League.
No, I think Summer League is in August this year.
It is, right. But Summer League is during the Olympic break. That's what I'm saying. Okay. They don't even have to compete with that. Like, it's literally, by the time they come back,
it's nothing but them.
September, early October, all eyes on them. So I like the way it's structured.
I also love that the New York team is good.
Yes, they are good. I think I've said this before. Like, I saw what the Liberty system was last year.
Yeah.
Like, I like the idea of, spacing and shooting threes and things like that. They just didn't have the right players last year.
Yeah. And then
now they have players, right. Now they have players that are closer to what they're trying to do, and it's working.
It's good.
I think that's how basketball in the W should be played.
I agree.
I think you only need 1, maybe 2 6'5" players. Like, if you can have 12 of them, fine. But I don't think you need like redundancy at that position, because most of the game, Natasha Howard is fine inside by herself at 6'2", but it's the length and the long arms.
Yeah.
I am not enjoying the beginning of the Spark season. I am enjoying the access and the coverage, but I am not enjoying watching
play.
basketball.
Yeah, I'm not.
No,
Yeah,
but
they
I don't
have
think they're enjoying it either.
they have to figure that out, man. Like, because again, like I said, I thought
You can't keep losing by 20.
I thought they would be better. I said they was gonna go 4-0. Clearly, I don't know anything. clearly, I know nothing. But they have to figure this out soon because again, it's still very early. But you go 0-4, then who they play after the Sky? Let me pull up the schedule.
Aces, well, Wings, Aces, and then Fever. Even the Fever have a win now. I believe the Sparks are the only team in the league that don't have a win.
They have Sky on the back-to-back, then Wings, then the Fever, then the Sky again, then the Mystics.
There was no Aces in there?
No.
Did I miss that?
Yeah. Then it's Mercury back-to-back, then the Liberty, then the Mystics. These are the games for June. They have after the Sky back-to-back, the Wings, the Fever, the Sky, the Mystics, the Lynx, the Mercury again, the Liberty, the Mystics, Mercury, then the Aces on June 30th. This isn't an easy schedule.
That is not an easy schedule.
It's not an easy schedule.
They could literally lose every single one of those games.
All of those games.
I don't think they will, but they literally could.
There's no nights off.
Even the Fever are not a gimme.
There's no nights off.
Because you know what the Fever have? In addition to having a 6'7" player, the Fever now have a 6'10" player.
Yeah.
What they gonna do about that? Like every once in a while, Necker gonna get up there and jump and block her shot. Even Brittany Sykes might get up there and jump and block her shot. But like over time, like that's like 3-4 easy buckets just because she's 6'10".
I'm saying, man. So like, look, it's still early, but like I said, it's they need to win.
The next time we do this show, it could all be turned around and it could all be looking like preseason because in preseason it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
It looked pretty good in preseason.
And then they played game one.
And Zowie didn't play.
Yeah.
Chrissy Tolliver really wasn't playing. Who else wasn't playing? I mean, Weiss played, but Simone didn't play.
Yeah. Also, shout out Simone. Great, incredible career.
Yeah, we'll do a whole segment on that coming up. But Coach Money, what you gonna do? I know you gonna have to fire shoes, but yeah, they got to figure something out.
Facts.
Because this is not just an energy and effort thing. It's something else missing.
Yeah.
Now, whether it's one player, I don't know. Whether it's a passion thing. I don't know whether maybe it's a health thing, health and fitness. Maybe it's, I just don't have my fitness level there or like, I got some nagging injuries that doesn't keep me out the game, but just keeps me from doing everything I exactly want to do. Whatever it is, got to rub some turnip root on it and they got to figure this out.
Indeed.
Something holistic. Essential minerals, oils, all that stuff.
Yeah, essential minerals, oils.
Raise your hand, pray to God, something.
But yeah,
they need to figure something out.
Indeed.
And hopefully they do.
And hopefully they do. And hopefully next time we link up and do this show, everything is 2-2, or at least 1-3.
2-2. Man, if it's 2-2, they'll be one of the best teams in the league. If they beat the Sky back to back.
It's not gonna happen, but I mean, if
they want to turn around that quick and beat the Sky back to back in Chicago,
at least they will be 1-3 at the very least 1-3. But yeah,
the only problem with that is you say they might be 1-3, but that would basically mean that the Sky would have lost 2 out of 3 games. That's gonna be pretty tough.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, though. I actually am looking forward to seeing what happens, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't want to make any predictions because I think it's too early in the season to really do that. We've made our preseason predictions that we thought that this was going to be a playoff team. I think they still can be a playoff team.
Of course.
Because, one, if you can be healthier than other teams, that's an advantage. 2, I think that they still have a conceptual idea that can work. I think the pace and space of fast break and 3-point shooting can work. Has it worked yet? Only in 2 quarters. But I think it can work. So
Yeah.
we'll just have to see what they can do. I will tell you this, though, and I will end on this, and then I'll let you get your plug in. The GM is not firing the head coach.
All right, man.
I will say it to this man on a Zoom call. The GM is not firing the head coach.
Of course.
So all of this, I asked a question. I asked a question on Twitter. They're down by 20. I said, "Oh, what are you talking about at halftime when you're down by 20?" Everybody's like, "How to fire Derek Fisher? How did this? How did that?" Nope.
That's not happening.
It's not happening.
It's not happening. But
it can't be any worse. Literally, once they win a game, it can't be any worse than not winning any games. Right? Yeah. I mean, there's no negative.
Yeah.
I mean, we even saw him tie this season. So that's an option too.
That's not going to tie the regular season, but I feel you.
I'm just trying to give him some encouragement. I was trying to give him some encouragement, my man. You know what I'm saying? No, we're not. Yeah. Okay, you're right. We're not going to tie in the regular season. All right, y'all. Well, you can find my work on Twitter at John W. Davis. You can also find me on winsider.com, where I drop a couple articles a month. Pavi, what you got going in this next decade of your life?
Well, from the past decade, you can go check out Songs About Women.
Yo, that's a bar right there. That's a bar right there.
From the past decade, you can go check out Songs About Women. And yeah, man, follow me on Twitter at Pavyworld, P-A-V-Y-World, all one word. That's everywhere. I am found on the internet. It's all the same thing. And yeah, man, until next time, we will holla at you.
All right, y'all. John W. Davis and Pavy. Peace.